Alright guys, let's do a bow and then let's get running round.
Yes, good hustle, keep it going.
Are we listening? Are we listening?
We're on.
Good morning, afternoon and evening, sports fans. We're here with the sub 79.9 black belt champ of NAGA. All the men put in front of him, he took him down, came home with the strap.
The champion of North American grappling.
There you go, you've won. So, talk us through it, champ.
There's a lot of people in North America.
Yep.
And I technically beat them all.
You beat the top two guys. So, the second person to conquer America.
After Christopher Columbus.
Yes. So, yeah, talk us through it, man.
Yeah, it was a good day. We took 6 people with us. 6? Yeah.
It's a bloody good haul for the team, wasn't it?
And we came third in the no-gi. 5 golds and 1 bronze.
Amazing. What a day.
Yeah, really good day, actually. I think the 2 teams who came like first and second had like over 30 people each. And we only came second by like 20 points. They got the winner was like 220 and we were on 200.
That makes it much more of a big victory, doesn't it?
It's mental, isn't it? There was one person who didn't medal. I think if they'd medal, we would have come first.
It's crazy. That's amazing.
Yeah, really cool.
What an achievement.
Yeah, it was good. 2 matches. They weren't easy, but they weren't super hard. Like at no point did I feel like I was really in danger. There was any trouble. The first guy was the toughest. Spanish guy, came all the way over from Bilbao. Really friendly guy, lovely guy. He pulled straight into guard, jumped guard.
Yeah, I saw that.
Hey?
I know.
You're mad, mate. My knees.
What, you 28?
Yeah.
27?
Jesus Christ.
No.
So that took me by surprise. And he was trying to get into the legs. To be honest, he just had a tricky guard. He was attacking the upper body, went for an armbar, trying to get into the legs, using like false reap entries, like butterfly halves, that kind of thing. I feel pretty comfortable passing. But he did have it was very sticky. His butterfly hook was very sticky. I didn't feel like I could take it out. Usually you can just sort of pop that out and just keep going. But he was very sticky in there. He had some really good frames, which he was using to sort of enter into the legs. He managed to get into my legs twice. I'd already passed his guard by this point, so I was kind of up on points. And then he got into my legs. Just a simple sort of single leg X entry. Went for an outside heel hook. I made myself safe and countered with a junior lock and sort of rolled to get that, but didn't really get a good bite, and he disengaged, and then we both stood up, and then he got into my legs again later from like a butterfly guard sort of position, just getting to his inside positions again, same sort of thing, but then he passed it across to 50-50 this time, and then he stepped around to get into like a 90-10, but when you get into like a 90-10, your foot should be on the belly, and then your top foot should be kind of wrapped around the hip, which makes your feet safe, essentially. The foot on the belly, your foot safe. There's not really a great deal you can do to that. And if the other foot is wrapped around far enough around your hip, it's kind of hard to attack that. But his bottom foot, rather than being on my belly, was on the outside of my hip. So we were essentially in like a standard 50-50, but he didn't have the cross legs to keep that bottom leg safe. And so I was doing a sort of fairly good job of sort of hiding my heel, keeping my feet like underneath him. He was focused on digging the feet out. And I just looked down and his heel was just like, hey! And so I just cranked on it.
It looked like a sort of... Just saw your head turn to sort of grab
I just
for
sort of looked at it. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't even like a great bite, to be honest. I just sort of grabbed it and just
wrenched
and he tapped. So that was good. Second guy was just an angry Brazilian. He was storming around. He was sort of... His match before that, he just sort of wrestled, but like he didn't even do any wrestling. He just sort of would get to a collar tie and push the other person out. Then they'd reset, get to a collar tie, push the other person out. He didn't go for any single legs, like no like Greco, like hand fighting or anything. It was just like
pure rage.
Walk the other person down, your pure rage. Almost definitely on roids.
You reckon? Well, just because of the way he felt.
Yeah, he's very short, but like just jacked and like just had that vibe back. He was a nice guy. Like afterwards, he was sort of pleasant and stuff, but he just sort of
his game mode was pretty fierce.
Yeah, it was sort of angry. So I knew he was going to walk me down. So he came in and I just pulled straight into guard. Tried to get to that inside position, but didn't do it very well. And so ended up in half guard. I'd seen him passing from half guard in the previous match. So I was like, although I backed myself, I just don't really want to put myself in like positions where he's going to be strong, and he'd like smashed his way through using his Brazilian aggression into like a chest on chest and then past the guy's guard. And I was like, I don't really want to end up stuck there because he looks like strong and he feels strong. So I sort of forced my way into full guard, but I could feel he was like I was collar tying from full guard, snapping him down and hand fighting. And I could feel him getting tired. He was like breathing.
You can't do that shit for long, can you?
Yeah, so I was just like, well, I'm just going to do this for a while. Like we've got a 4-minute match. It's not long, but he's already getting tired. And I'm just going to lie here. I'm just going to collar tie him to death and just keep like arm dragging and 2-on-1s and just stifle him.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do this till there's about 1.5 minutes left, and then I'm going to start my entries. Like I'm going to open up a bit and get my scoot grips, get into K guard, maybe go for an arm bar and like, just sort of see what happens, like start making some openings. And he got bored in the end and he stood up and he did like the world's worst foot lock entry where he sort of, like if you're in a triangle and you stand up and you jump your legs over their tummy to sort of triangle your legs and then burst out of it. Kind of did that to jump on a foot lock, which kind of took me by surprise a little bit. And we ended up like in like the worst sort of position for a foot lock defense where I'm like lying back and he's lying back but on a foot lock. And I always say to people, like, you can't just lie back when you're being footlocked, like straight footlock. You need to get up. Yeah. You need to make some contact, collar tie, grab their hand, whatever. Like, you can't let them stretch out and you're lying down. Like, you don't want to be straight. You want to be up. And I was like, oh, shit, like, I'm in a bit of a bad spot here. Like, he's jumped on it. I'm lying back. Like, I need to get myself up. His feet are kind of impeding me, so... And so I was waiting for it to like come on, and I was sort of in my head like thinking, I'm gonna eat this a bit, like, but it'll be all right. Yeah. Like, but it just never came on. Like his footlock was just
when I saw that on the video,
not great, and I was just sort of waiting for it to come on. Oh, and I'm just sort of getting up, like unpicking the legs, thinking like, oh, that was good then, and just sort of like got round his legs. He sat up. I got to a body lock. We got reset, and when I get to a body lock, I'm like, I'm gonna pass now. Yeah. For sure, I'm going to pass. Yeah. And so just worked round and passed his guard and then pinned him in north-south, which I think annoyed him. He tried to jump on a Kimura right at the end. There's like 10 seconds left. And I was like, I'm just going to fucking stay here.
It just got hairy. You dropped the shoulder and kind of held on to it, didn't you? It was good.
I was just like, I'm not going to try and pass or do anything crazy. I'm just going to sit here. Colin had said like 10 seconds.
Just settle.
Like, I've won.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Amazing. That jumping leg lock, it's funny you say that because when I saw it in the video, because obviously you guys are black belt level, it was like, like maybe there's an advanced version of that I'm unaware of, but that seems very like hasty and kind of something that someone with less experience would do. But clearly he just went for it because it was just a last ditch thing. Or
I would not go for it personally.
No,
but that doesn't mean it's not legit. I think I saw someone do it at CJI maybe.
Right. I don't remember that.
There was definitely a competition I was watching, a high-level competition I was watching lately. And they stood up in someone's full guard and they jumped into a leg entanglement. Not necessarily a bad thing to do. Yeah. But he just didn't do it very well.
Yeah, okay. Crazy.
But yeah, for me personally, like I think it's the wrong choice. In a points competition, I think that's the wrong choice. You stand up, you open the legs, you pass. You don't stand up, open the legs essentially by jumping into a footlock and then lie on your back and let the other guy get up. That's just 2 points to me.
Yeah.
You just gave him 2 points.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
So it's like...
That's kind of what I meant. It just seems a bit like risk-reward. It's not really stacked in your favour to try that, is it?
I don't think so.
So the way you just described some of the some of the moves. I mean, it's it's kind of the stuff that the way that you described how you went through the fight was often how you describe certain sequences in classes and stuff, right? So I wonder what if you could put. So I'm talking sliding doors here. If you could put the Henry that got to purple belt and started teaching, and then went all this black belt, and then the Henry that got to purple belt and just carried on training and got to black belt, like how in terms of your fight IQ and your decision making, obviously the Henry that went teaching would be a lot more able to kind of vocalize and have the pathways in his mind. And I guess what I mean is that you're to teach is to learn sort of thing, where you're describing these things and doing these things all the time. So you have to, I mean, I find it with obviously music teaching, but jiu-jitsu teaching, coaching is you have to check yourself, don't you? And every single point along the way, the basics of a move, the fundamentals, all the way through, you have to make sure you've got it bang on. So it's interesting that I think something like coaching, it does give you an advantage in terms of how you carve the pathways in your mind of
I think so,
sequences and chaining things together and your general IQ and decision making.
I think so, definitely. And I think everyone would be a better jiu-jitsu practitioner if they teach, even if it's just once a week. It will make you better.
It puts you under the microscope, doesn't it? You put yourself under the microscope, don't you? I
think everyone's different. I'm definitely the sort of person who does certain things like without thinking about them. Like, I'm probably doing certain things like correct, but I don't know that I'm necessarily doing it. And it takes me like learning how to teach a move to understand what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Whereas some people are very analytical and they know exactly what they're doing all the time.
Yeah.
So like they do a technique, you're like, fuck, what was that? Like, can you show me that? And they're like, yeah, I know exactly it. Because like maybe they watched an instructional, maybe they worked it out, maybe a coach taught them and they remember all the details and then they like input all the details that they apply it and they just know it inside out. Whereas for me, like I'll just forget shit, obviously, because I'm just a retard. So whether I've learned it from a coach or a instructional or whatever, like I'll remember it initially, and then I'll start doing it, and then I'll forget there are bits that I'm doing, or like it will just be something that I'm intuitively doing, but I won't realize that I'm necessarily doing it. And so like I'll really have to like when I'm thinking about how to teach someone that. Like, I'll watch videos of it, watch an instructional, like think about what I'm actually doing. And like, I really have to like pull it apart to be like, yeah, these are the bits that I need to teach. These are the important bits. Like, whereas some people are just much more analytical. I'm not like that.
I think it's being able to get the information, be able to get a move or whatever, or a sequence of moves or a chain of moves correct. And the quicker you can get that into your subconscious, the better. Then your conscious brain doesn't have to think about it. You don't have to process it in real time. It just happens. But I think some people are just better at doing that than others. The people who, hand-to-eye coordination, people that have done sports from an early age.
I think it's just intelligent people.
Maybe it's just intelligent people.
Like Will.
People that never
just
smoked.
so good at retaining information and then just like redistributing it.
Yeah. It's just being wired a certain way, isn't it? Being intellectual. Maybe not, smoking weed when you're a teenager.
Maybe not.
That probably did us in.
Stunted my brain.
Yeah, same.
But there's a different thing to do with coaching as well. Like I've seen coaches who are very good at like understanding systems. They know it inside out. They can just repeat it. But sometimes what I've seen is their approach to taking, say, a system and then teaching someone it. I would say. When they look at applying it to like a coaching situation with just say one person, I watch and I'm like, I probably wouldn't have done it that way. And I'm not saying their way isn't necessarily like a good way, but like sometimes you're like, it's about understanding what that person needs to know right now.
Yeah.
And what's going to be the best thing for them to know right now that's going to get them into that situation or whatever, get them into understanding about that system, utilizing it to a degree, and like how to sort of, you've got like 100 different things that are involved in a system. Which ones should you teach them straight away? Yeah. Like what's the best way of them learning that system?
Yeah.
Now that's a bit more of an art than a science, I think. And it's looking at the person in front of you and being like, right, let's start with these bits. because I think he's going to click with those bits. And then we'll fill in a few of the details a bit later on once he understands that stuff, rather than being like, well, this is the start of it. Yeah. These are the bits you need to know first. Yeah. But then they're like, yeah, but I can't really apply those bits. Like, and I don't really understand why I'm doing it and stuff. And it's like, there's a bit of an art to sort of, I think, taking a system and understanding how to apply it to someone.
Yeah, it's a sensitivity because you have to take the individual approach, don't you? And that requires, empathy and understanding and sensitivity towards the towards the person, doesn't it? Rather than, this is the system, here, I'm just going to give you this, whoever you are.
It's like teaching someone, like, just to sort of use like a gym analogy because it's a bit easier in jiu-jitsu. It's like teaching someone like to squat. Like, you could teach them like all the biomechanical like bits and pieces, and like when your knees should go in, when they should come out, what your feet are doing, and like really build it up. Like, right, I'm going to build this up from the feet all the way up to the head, and like do this like really good like approach on paper in a biomechanics like PhD class. They'd be like, oh, this is amazing, but you're faced with like a 45-year-old housewife, and like they've got like no fucking idea what you're talking about. And whereas if you just go like, right, get your feet about shoulder width apart, right, sit down to that bench and then stand back up. Right, this is amazing. Do 10 of them. That's enough.
Yeah.
That's perfect for that person.
Yeah.
And they're doing it, and you look and you think, it's not textbook, but it's good enough.
Yeah.
And then we're going to start loading that. And next week I'll tell her a little snippet more. And then the week after that I'll tell her a snippet more. And then once she's fully bought in, we'll start talking about how the feet pronate. And then then she's going, oh, my knees always come in at this point. And she's asking the right question because she's experiencing it. She's got some reference. And then you start talking her through all those little bits and what to look out for, what to not to worry about,
But as you say, like I think, compare that to probably how you would train a pro MMA fighter from the gym. Your language would be completely different, wouldn't it?
It would be, but even the pro MMA fighter, sometimes like you just got to like give them, the basic maybe, or give them like what they're trying to achieve and let them work it out on their own, or like, I just think coaching is not as, I think it is more of an art than a science.
It's a people thing, isn't it? You have to.
It is a people thing.
Yeah, the science is all there, but you have to have really good people skills, to be able to do it effectively. Any kind of coaching, I think, you're constantly gathering data in real time, aren't you? You're gathering data of how they respond to what you're saying and where they are in whatever skill they're trying to acquire.
Yeah.
And you're adjusting. I find and often that's the most tiring thing as a coach or a teacher is. You're constantly sort of changing the goalposts with that. Oh, okay, that didn't quite get that right. Let me just reevaluate that. Right, let's try it this way. And that's, as you say, that's definitely the art.
Yeah, it's a funny one, isn't it?
Yeah. But then when you do get results, it's massively rewarding.
Yeah,
because you're like, cool, I got through to them. That makes sense to them, and they're getting better now.
Yeah.
That through the way that we found that works for them.
The worst thing in jiu-jitsu is like when someone starts using like a system that you've taught them against you though, and it's really effective, and you're like, this was a mistake. Why did I show them that?
I've
like,
created a monster
beating me now.
Especially
like,
with
so I'm
kids.
sort of like happy, but like I'm also pissed off.
Yeah,
it's a weird sort of.
Especially with like young teens, because they start to go through their teen years, they start to get bigger and stronger. You're like, shit, they're better than me now.
Yeah.
Which is kind of what you want, but your ego's like hammering you.
Funny, but. Yeah, good times.
I must say, the belt is sick.
It's fun, isn't it?
It's really smart, yeah.
I'm not
Love the
like
dragon.
A hugely competitive person. So oftentimes what I'll do is when I go to a competition, I'm like, if I just medal, I'm happy.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to come away with something and feel like I've had a couple of good matches and I perform fairly well. If I get a silver medal, then I'm happy.
Yeah.
Because there was a belt on the line, I was
funny,
like, no, I need to win the belt.
And I want...
One of their shitty medals would
I
not
know,
be enough.
and like... Some medals are good, like the one there, the grappling industries one, the octopus one.
Yeah, it's a cool medal.
It's really smart, yeah. And they change the animal, or they change the thing each time, don't they? But I feel like more competitions they'd have much more sign-ups if they just made a belt.
It's funny, isn't it? Yeah. I think All Stars do a belt, but only for the absolute champion.
Right. Because it can't be, obviously it's a lot more expensive to make a belt, but you would probably make a lot more money. Probably not, no. But you'd probably make a lot more money because... they're coming home with a belt. A medal's fine. It's great. You come with a gold medal, it means a lot. But a fucking belt, that means a lot more.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And like I say, it's a smart belt.
Yeah.
Are we going to have it up?
We'll hang
on
it.
The wall here,
yeah. I think maybe somewhere.
Yeah, we'll figure
somewhere
it out.
up there. Yeah, we'll figure it out. There's been more controversy. The controversy.
Oh, CJI, man. Honestly, the drama continues.
It does, doesn't
It's
it?
So, did you see the video that he put up the other day, sort of defending his position? Craig,
who?
sorry. He was defending the fact that he said that the post where he said no.
So let's go back. So basically,
Okay,
he the last sort of things is he said New Wave can have 1 million, and as I understand it, the anonymous donor had kind of waded in and said like, I feel like New Wave should have 1 million. Like we'll sort them out because I thought they won, something like that. Obviously Gordon's done like post after post, like analysing it and why. Like he spoke to the donor. Apparently the donor had called him, and he spoke to the donor, and the donor's a good guy. He just loves jiu-jitsu, and he thought it was unfair, and New Wave won, and like so he was going to sort him out the 1 million, and blah blah blah. And then so Craig was like, "Yep, great, you've got 1 million," and then now he's saying, you ain't getting the fucking
Shock
1 million.
post on Instagram. Just I lied.
Yeah, well, not I lied, but like
That's what
I
he-
think
that's what
it
he
was
wrote.
more like sorry, he
Yeah,
did, didn't he? But some people were saying it's because Gordon was so salty and being a dickhead about it that he sort of withdrew it. But then recently I saw there was a Reddit post from said anonymous donor.
Right.
Saying that he had like spoken to Craig and whoever else, and there had been some clarification about the rules and how there was this and that on the day, how New Wave had argued this and that, and actually when he'd look at the rules and after this conversation he agrees that B team should have won and they're not giving them the 1 million. It's very complicated because you're getting into like 0.4B of like the rules thing.
It gets potentially quite legal, doesn't it? And
I think we spoke about it last podcast, and we sort of said, I think it was basically saying if it's all draws, then it's the team who won the most matches wins. If it's all draws but the scores are tied, which is a different situation, then it's the team that won the last match.
That's right.
That wins. And now I was initially like, that's bullshit. That's a shit rule. Like, it shouldn't be that. It should be the team who won the most matches. But Craig explained it, saying that what he wanted, he didn't want a team to go 3-0 up and then just cruise through the last two
Coast to
matches.
victory. Yeah.
He was like, I want to keep the excitement going. So if we wait that last match, they're going to go hammer and tongs in that last match to try and win. So they win the thing. And I'm like, to be fair, like, that is... I still think it should be the team who won the most matches, but I do like that little caveat. I wonder if there's a way you could sort of have both of those things running at the same time, and, a hybrid. I don't really know, but yeah, that is quite a good rule. So I get it, and I can see that, and it does make sense.
And the whole brief,
and that does mean that B team won.
And the whole brief of the day was make exciting matches, wasn't it? And go for big finishes. But and obviously they changed the rules halfway through to try and sort of bump that up because the first.
Well, they didn't change the rules. They just added in.
Change the reward.
Yeah,
that's what I meant.
Yeah,
but I just feel like I don't know personally. Like the rules and rewards should be set.
It should be
in stone
set.
at the beginning.
It should be.
Because I mean, did they? I don't know whether they did. Did they give? God, who was it that got the sub in the first day one?
Taylor Pearman.
Taylor. Yeah. Did they give him the 50?
I'm not aware that they did. Yeah.
Because surely they'd have to, wouldn't they?
If I was Taylor, I'd be contacting him
like,
and saying, like, guy, like, I fucking grafted. I got a sub, like, and then suddenly it's 50 grand. Like,
he fulfilled the
can
brief.
I just get half of it or something?
Well,
do you know what I mean?
He fulfilled the brief, not even knowing that was going to be a bonus. Like, do
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Like,
Like,
he was one of the few people actually who did it. Yeah, it is almost worth more.
You know. Yeah, the changing halfway through is a bit. I've never.
It's not very. The whole sort of thing is just not very professional. And like they're going to get a meal now, they're not going to get a meal. It's all just like not very professional. Like, and it's all. I can see why New Wave feel aggrieved, like because it's just not very. It's like they're having the wall pull out, the rug pulled out from underneath them, like over and over again. So I kind of get it. And it does look a bit shit. Like, if you're thinking about entering it again, it's like, oh, the rules are going to be changed here. And, like, you just don't know where you are.
There's going to be a lot of top guys that are going to be like, potentially like, no, I'm good. Like, because we're not going to know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You know? Which is a shame, because we're not going to get, potentially, not going to get the matchups that we want. as fans.
Yeah, it's a tricky one, isn't it?
Dear. Although I see what they were trying to do. They were trying to ramp up the action and make it. And again, it's all in an effort to grow our sport. I get it, and I respect that. I just don't know whether that was the right route or not.
Yeah. It was a great show.
Yeah.
You know, up there in the top 5 jiu-jitsu shows of all time. The controversy keeps you talking about it, so in some ways it's interesting.
Yeah.
But I think there are a lot of sort of black marks hanging over the top of it, clouds hanging over the top of it. And I just do wonder whether there will be a third one. And
God, I'll tell you one of my favourite matches was Hulk and Mika.
Don't really.
It was just full on, and it was the first one in day 2 where Big John stood them both up, and I think Hulk was kind of dominating, and he was on top. And he stood them both up.
Yeah, I remember watching that and thinking, what?
And then,
I don't think they should have had MMA refs.
I mean, obviously, he was taking his brief from
the
top. But anyway, I mean, obviously, no, he's not an MMA, but he's an old school MMA ref, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the moment, and it was like, because then from that point, they swapped position. That was it. It wasn't even like they just stood him up. They actually put. You remember?
I think so.
Hulk was under. They'd swapped it, so Mika was on top. Of course, he dominated for the rest of the round. It's just like, fucking crazy.
No,
I don't agree with that rule. No, if they're gonna do that, then just stand them up, even Stevens, rather than a complete reversal.
Matt Benyon and Hoyle Teague have started a podcast. Unknown Pressures. Shout out. Go and listen to it.
Yeah.
And he kind of said, look, that he thinks they've got the best team format rules in play, and I would agree with that. I think that's true. My only little tweak is I would say that I don't think they need the 2 halves. They have 2 45-minute halves where the whole team get kind of reset and you get to go again. I don't think you necessarily need that. I think it could just literally be a 45-minute match, and once your team's out, they're out. But yeah, having a decision, like if there's no submission, like having a decision based on like a 10-9 round, based on what's happening, like, and he said like point scoring is exciting. Like if you're into jiu-jitsu and stuff, even if you're not, like a good sweep, that's exciting. A big takedown is exciting. A guard pass into mount, like it is exciting. It's not like, I think it gets like devalued and they're, jiu-jitsu's boring without subs. It's like, no, it's not.
That's the thing. It's a very, very technical sport, as we know. But I think it's like anything. If you've watched the Olympics, I don't know. I was watching pistol shooting. It doesn't take you long to listen to the commentators be like, "Oh, right, that's scored for that." That's it.
You kind of get into it.
Doesn't take you long, does it? Yeah. To get the basics of the scoring system. You don't have to know all the intricate details of ins and outs of whatnot, but you can get the broad strokes of the rules.
Yeah.
And so you're right in that sense.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah. I think jiu-jitsu is a bit like sort of skateboarding or like BMXing. Like, there's a lot of tricks. There's a lot of techniques that are going to happen all the way through. And you don't need it to be like a bloody triple backflip. Like, you can just appreciate that he's done like a really difficult grind or whatever. Yeah. Like, jiu-jitsu is the same. And I think if you sort of just say like, oh, the only good thing is the submission, you kind of like take away like the majority of the art. And getting 2 of the best guys in the world to sub each other is fucking hard work.
Yeah, I think the CGI proved that.
Yeah, unless it's going to be like a unlimited time thing where people get tired, but like that just doesn't work. That is boring.
Well, that would be fucking
half an hour match is boring. Looking at 2 really tired guys just pouring on each other. Like,
yeah, there's only so long you can watch that. It's like the end of Rocky 2, and it's like there's only so long you can watch that before it's just like
the Gordon matches that are like half an hour, 40 minutes. Like, I'm watching the highlights. I'm not watching the whole thing.
I did a little bit of fast forward on day 2 with CJR.
Yeah, like a lot of the fights I would just flick through, like flick every 10 seconds, and I'm kind of watching it in a very fast forwarded way. Yeah. And then I'm like taking it back if some action's
rewind
happened.
That. Yeah.
But like, and I am interested in all the interplay, but like I'm on the clock, mate. If I was young, single, and had nothing to do, I would have sat there and watched the whole thing in its entirety and like rewatched it and stuff. But some of the matches were boring, like the Hulk and Mika, apart from the controversy, like it's a boring match. They're just cancelling each other out. I thought Mika, to be fair, like was not interesting.
Yeah, not his usual.
Yeah, like, I don't know if he was carrying like an injury or something, but like there just weren't those like flashes of brilliance. Like, I think for me, like the standouts, the people whose stock went up, Taylor, definitely.
Taylor for sure.
Like, even though it's a bit controversial, even just to get to that point where he's having a controversial win against Bordoni is amazing. And Declan Moody.
Yeah, he's great. Isn't
Declan
he?
Moody was like...
He moves so quick for a big guy, doesn't
Yeah,
he?
like his guard passing and pinning was just like so good.
Yeah. And then you got a sense of his size when he went up against, towards the end of day 2. You know the guy you mentioned last week, the sort of Iranian-looking fella, big fella. I think he was the one who was fighting Gio Martinez, maybe, went with the... the tap.
Yeah.
Was that the guy?
Yeah.
And then he went up against Declan Moody, and he looked small. It's like...
No, because they were on the same team.
Who am I thinking of then? I'm thinking of someone else. Oh, I forget.
Team Australia.
He went up against another big guy who looked big against somebody else, and he just made him look tiny.
Oh, I can't remember.
Oh. Anyway, but yeah, he looked great.
Yeah, he was really good. And then he went and won trials the week or 2 weeks after, which is pretty incredible as well. Trials was sick. Did you see the results of that?
I haven't seen the results yet.
Young Nico from Los Banditos, 17-year-old purple belt, won trials.
I heard about this on the group.
Yeah, youngest sort of person to win European trials. I rolled with him, and he messed me up, and now I don't feel that bad about it.
It's a moral victory.
Yeah, really. If anything, I won.
Yeah. You didn't get absolutely flattened, so...
Yeah, I think he subbed me once.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, he should be embarrassed.
Yeah.
To be honest. So
it's funny how that psychology works, isn't it? There was you remember Ian, we bumped into at the last Endured thing that we did. So, for reference, Ian's a very good Jiu-Jitsu. I'm not sure what belt he is now. He's blue last time I remember.
He's a blue belt, sadly. But he's a black belt in judo.
But he's a black belt in judo. And I didn't know this. And I was, I think, a blue belt at the time in jiu-jitsu, and he was a white belt, and never met him before. And we just started rolling, and he absolutely ragdolled me. And I remember thinking, who the fuck is this guy? Like, am I just shit at this? And then it transpired later on that he was a black belt in judo. I was like, oh, I feel so much better.
Jiu-jitsu, though. That's really the thing. Like, it's not.
He's transferred it really well.
Most black belts in judo, like, you can, unless they're like elites, you can sort of like, you can see they're into their judo, and like they all sort of pass the same way and stuff like that, and you can kind of just negate it and usually end up finding a sub or something.
He's got a very good base.
Actually, he's got very good guard and stuff like that. Like, really hard to pass, really flexible, like
really strong.
Yeah,
really
strong,
good, like balance.
Fit. He can just outlast.
Good
you,
looking.
Like, good looking.
You know, he's a great kisser.
Great guy. Yeah, really good. Really good hugs. Yeah.
He just knows when to be gentle, when to be rough.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Love you, Ian.
Yeah.
Anyway. What were we talking about? I forgot.
I don't
All
know.
I could see is Ian's face.
Fuck knows.
But yeah, CGI, the controversy continues, and there'll probably be more going on. I think.
No, trials. We were talking about trials.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, go on.
So I think Nico won the under 66. I can't remember who won the under 77. I think it was some Dagestani bloke.
Any of the boys from Endured do anything?
No, I didn't see what their results were. Tommy Grealish was in there, but he didn't post about his results, so I'm not sure how he did. Nicholas got guillotined, I think, or something like that.
Right.
Or anaconda'd or something. I saw a video of. Pavel won the under 88.
Okay.
Under 99 was Declan Moody. And over 99 was Mark McQueen.
Okay.
So yeah, it was good. But that same thing happens again, where like there's a women's competition, but you don't qualify in the first one. There's only one qualifier, which is the second one, which doesn't make sense to me. Like, I guess, is there less people in the women's brackets? Is there's 16-man brackets?
I would imagine there's
if they're
less
only
women.
using one, then it must be an 8-woman bracket. But just bump it up. Just make it a 16-woman bracket.
What we need to do is we need to create our own Dadjitsu event that just sorts all these rules out. You know, amalgamate the best of these rules, make our own Dadjitsu grappling event.
Coming soon.
Watch this space, people.
But yeah, Inyana Goodman, who we were hoping to interview but didn't get the chance when we went out to Grappling Clutch, she won it.
Right, okay.
She's very good. So what I'm hoping is that she enters the other one, and wins it again.
Yeah. There's so many superstars at the moment, isn't there?
There are, but the
so
good
many
thing
people blowing
is,
up.
so we've got Mark McQueen. Declan Moody is technically from England.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, even though he's Australian,
Yeah.
he was born and lived in England for most of his youth, I think.
Okay.
So we'll take him.
Yeah.
Nico, although he's Polish, trains and lives in England, so we'll take him.
Yep.
So that's like 3 people out of trials who are British going in. You'll probably get invites for Owen Jones, Owen O'Flanagan, Taylor Pearman. I imagine they'll all get invited. And then we've got another round of trials. There could be quite a few English prospects there, which is great, isn't it? Because usually there's I think we had Ross Nichols one year, maybe with Ashley Williams as well. And then I think we had Ashley Williams the next year and Owen O'Flanagan. I don't think I'm forgetting anyone. And then the next year we had Owen, Mark McQueen, and Taylor Pearman, and Owen Jones. So it was 4 last time, I think. Obviously, on the women's side as well, we got Fionn, and I think Nia Blackman, and there was a couple, maybe 2 or 3 women last time. So this, there was probably about 7 or 8 British people last time. This time there's probably going to be well over 10, I reckon.
And it's great, isn't it?
It's amazing, isn't it? It just shows that the level's getting better.
Level's getting better, and it's kind of catching up with a lot of the other parts of the world, because you look at CGI, we're very much viewed as the underdog.
But they weren't even really we were missing people. Owen O'Flanagan should have been in there.
Yeah.
I mean, Europe generally probably was missing 3 of its best guys, if not the best guys. Matthias, the Norwegian guy, what's his name? Tommy Lanneker.
Oh, yeah, Tommy Lanneker. Yeah.
And Matthias had a broken arm, I think. Tommy Lanneker had some sort of problem, and Owen, it was all just drums. I think he had it was all about money. I don't know.
Oh, really? Okay.
But so those 3 people, really, if we'd had them in our team, I don't know how that would have worked. Maybe Owen could have gone under 99, Tommy under 88, Matthias under 77. Our team would have then been really
Solid.
strong.
Yeah.
And then Owen under 66, and then whoever we had at over 99 probably could have taken the Brazilian fella at over 99. That's a fucking strong team. Suddenly, we're looking at actually really competing.
Definitely.
So, it could have all been very different. I think we would have beaten Atos.
Yeah, they
Because there's some submission hunters in there, Matthias, fucking Tommy, and Owen are all legit submission threats against anyone.
And I feel like Atos, obviously they are who they are, but they're just, I felt like they could have performed better.
Yeah, I don't think they perform well. I think they're very points orientated. They're very IBJJF sort of orientated.
Yeah. It's a Brazilian
They're
angle.
not big sort of submission snipers. It's not the competition for them. Do you know what I mean?
They'll all be raised on gi and
acai.
IBJJF stuff.
Yeah.
acai and Jesus.
So yeah, it's not really the competition for them. That was another thing Gordon pointed out, that that B team got given the number 1 ranking.
What, seed?
Yeah,
Okay.
seed, sorry. And so the New Wave and Atos were on the same side of the draw, so they got an easier one. But then Craig was saying, but we said Daisy Fresh were the 4th ranking, and we had them in the first round, and we gave you Mika, who's the best in the world.
He made that point about 3 or 4 times in that video. It's there's more to it than that, surely.
It's so hard, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think
Lots of moving parts.
there should have been an impartial scoring system, maybe saying to Flow, rank these teams. So Flow rank the teams. So they do a ranking anyway, don't they? It'd be easy to do. How many of your team are in the top 10? You can literally do it by maths.
Yeah.
And work out which team is number 1, 2, 3, and all the way down to 8. And then put the top 4 in a hat, and have one, and have them in either corner, whichever corner they are, just pull them out. We're doing that corner first, this corner second. Just pull them out so you don't know, and then do the same thing with the next 4, and it's done, isn't it?
Oh my God.
Do you know what I mean?
That would be super
how they
exciting.
should have done it, because then there's no oh, he's picked this and he's picked that. It's just like, it's all random.
Yeah.
Like, that's
God.
the best way to do it, isn't it?
That would be, yeah. I will say as well, illustrating just the sheer power of the Dadjitsu podcast, I had a moan about the fact that Flo had put it behind a paywall, and then pretty soon after that, it came back on YouTube for a little bit, for a week. So I was like, just thanks, Flo, for listening in.
We can only imagine that probably the CEO of Flo, he's probably Dad. He probably watches.
He's probably subscribed.
Probably a super fan.
Yeah. He's probably got one of the t-shirts that are going to be available online soon. So
Yeah, no geese.
for a very competitive price. Anyway, carry on.
And he thought, fucking
that's
the
a good
voice
point.
of the people is
Yeah,
spoken.
yeah.
I need to adjust it.
Yeah, I'm going to lose so many dad fans.
And
so
you
let's
can only imagine the dads are probably the strongest dollar because younger kids, they can't afford Flow.
Absolutely.
The dads are their main market.
Yeah. In fact, a lot of those kids, it's their dads that are paying for their career.
So double down on the dads.
Yeah. So thanks, Flo. We'll take credit for that. But, it enabled me to watch the rest of it anyway. Yeah, I mean, who knows what the future holds? Like I said, I stand by what I said last time. Let's say what you like about CJI 2. It doesn't put any stain on the impact of CJI 1. No. I think CJI 1 showed us the future of Jiu-Jitsu. It felt like a cultural shift in terms of how things could be run, and it was a legitimate push towards a mainstream. It just felt like, I don't know, they missed a few things.
So that being said, like I feel like, because in my head I'm like, yeah, you're totally right. It would be amazing if there was like a CJI 1 event every month. And CJI became like the UFC, where they have a roster of fighters on their paywall, and every month they do, maybe it's not a bracket, maybe they do it as a super fight thing, maybe there's a league. I think a league format would work well.
Yeah.
Like,
do you think I suppose there is these days, if there are the amount of competitors at that level that could fill a roster for that throughout the course of a year?
Yeah, of course there are. If you're paying them the right money, there's you only need to make a good league, 12 or 16 people in the league. And over the course of a season, they all fight each other twice, maybe. They earn points, more points for a submission. If it's a decision win, let's say you get 2 points, submission win, you get 4. I don't know, or maybe there's a point system, so if you win on points, those are the points you get. Yeah. Or if you win by a submission, you get I don't know, how it would work. But you know, and then at the end of the season, people with the most points wins. That'd be exciting. I don't know if that's how they do it on PGF. It might be that might be what they do on PGF.
Like a running table.
Yeah,
that points sort of.
What's it called? The something.
What, the PGF?
What does that stand for?
I don't know, actually. Is it called PGF?
Do you know what I mean?
I do. I just don't know what it stands for. I'll have a look.
I feel ashamed to say I've not properly watched one of them. But as I understand it, they are very good. And I think over the space of a month or something, or maybe a couple of weeks, they all fight each other a couple of times. And it might be a points sort of thing.
Okay. Maybe we need to check this out a bit more.
Yeah. And they win a big prize at the end of it,
right.
200 grand or 100 grand or something like that. What's it called?
Professional Grappling Federation.
Is that it?
It says PGF. Continue. Well, what is PGF UFC?
What?
I don't know. The Professional Grappling Federation continues its meteoric rise in the world of Jiu-Jitsu. Today, PGF and UFC BJJ announced a groundbreaking agreement. From this season forward, every PGF champion will receive a guaranteed invitation to UFC BJJ. So,
yeah.
It does feel like the UFC are really getting their hooks in.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
Nice. without going into like the whole thing about contracts and things like that, like as a fan, I would just love to see a really good jiu-jitsu event with a big crowd and it be exciting every month.
Yeah.
Like UFC.
That would be great.
You know, so whether UFC run it, CGI run it, I don't care.
And to have it on the calendar. Do you know what I mean? Like football or
and
one of the other
it's going to be
sports.
the top guys.
Yeah. And also
thrashing
like
it out.
and also
naked.
like covered in oil.
Yeah.
And also just having, again, being dads, it's sometimes hard to keep up with what event's going on where. You have to really keep on top of it. Whereas if you have like a regular every month, this thing, it's something to look forward to. It's something to have on the calendar. It's like, babe, I can't this Sunday. It's the jiu-jitsu sort of thing or whatever. There's so many different organisations and things going on that it is sometimes hard to keep up. And you have to sign up to this. You have to do this. They're all shown in different places, and it'd be so good to just have it on national TV. ITV Saturday afternoon.
Yeah.
Fuck the football.
Or whatever.
And
But like it would just be like it would just be good to
so
just that like they're all playing against each other.
Yeah.
I don't think that will ever happen. But now, especially now, like I feel like it did used to happen, not every month, but like you could be reliably say, oh, it's Worlds, all the best guys are going to be there. Whereas now, you've got all the best guys split over basically 3 organisations, Flow, One, and the UFC.
It's getting a bit like boxing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where it's there's was it 3 distinct organisations or actually.
And there are other big ones like Polaris.
Yeah.
But I don't think because they're outside of the USA, and maybe they don't have the funding. I don't know. I don't think they have people who are like kind of internationally recognised but assigned to them. I think they do have some people signed to them, but I think they seem to be more of the big sort of local stars.
Yeah.
Whereas not like the top guys don't seem to be signed to them. But maybe they're working towards that. I don't know. But
I mean, maybe this is just a journey towards being more mainstream, and maybe something like that would happen with the right amount of funding, and maybe
it would ultimately if the Saudis came in and said we are starting
I think
a
we're moving towards
professional
it.
grappling league. We probably are,
yeah.
And we are going to pay all of them. All of the grapplers are going to get hundreds of thousands of pounds a year. They have to be exclusive to us.
Yeah.
If the exclusive contracts aren't a problem if the organisation is paying the right amount.
It's all down to money.
That is the way it is.
It's all down to money.
The only reason they've got the problem with these exclusive contracts is that the UFC don't pay enough.
Yeah.
But if they said, right, every match we're going to pay you 50 grand.
Yeah.
And if you win, you get another 50 grand.
Yeah.
And we're going to guarantee you 6 matches a year.
Yeah.
So you're basically you're earning at least 300k a year, and you might earn double that.
Yeah. And you're going to get the best
Most
matches.
people are probably going to be like, yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah, I'll take that.
That's amazing.
It's a no-brainer. And you're talking about getting the right matches. You're going to get the top guys, because the top guys are going to be approached by people like that. And they're going to most of the time they're going to say yes to it, because it's a no-brainer to say yes to a contract that's that good. So we're going to get the matches as fans, and they're going to get paid properly. And I just think, I don't know, maybe the UFC taking the BJJ thing forward in the way that they are, maybe they are a huge organisation. Maybe that's the first step, and maybe eventually someone like the Saudis might get involved, and they're doing it with a lot of other sports, aren't they?
They are, like they did it with golf.
If they do it with golf,
I can't remember what it's called, but they started an alternative golf league to the PGA. And a lot of the professional golfers have gone over to it because they just pay so much. Like, and the money I was talking about, 50 grand, like that's like
nothing.
A drop in the ocean.
Yeah.
Like these guys are getting millions and millions of pounds every year. Wow. So a lot of them have gone over to this thing. And obviously look at football. Like they started, every country's got their own football league. The Saudis suddenly started pouring obscene amounts in. And you got people like Cristiano Ronaldo, who like is on the tail end of his career, yes, but he was still, at the time that he signed, still one of the best players in the world. Yeah. And he went over there for silly money. But then there were loads of other players who were like kind of legitimately like at the top, like not necessarily the best players in the world, but like up and around there.
Up and comers.
Who were also good. Not necessarily up and comers, like people like, I don't know, to be honest, like, but they were like slightly older, but still the top guys in the world, not the up and comers, not like the 21, 22 year olds. It's more like the sort of 28, 29, 30 year olds.
Mid-career.
Yeah, they're like mid to late career, but they are at their peak.
Yeah.
Like maybe they've had their best season, but they could still have another season, which is the best season ever.
Yeah.
And they went over there because they were getting paid such silly money that they were like, why would I not do this? Like I could do 2 years there and retire.
Yeah.
Like not, I mean, they've all got fucking stupid money anyway.
Yeah.
But like, I think I looked at something and they were not only were they getting paid stupid money, but they got given like 5 fucking Lamborghinis. They had like a massive like mansion that got given to them, and like all these other things that they got given.
Yeah.
And it was just like, why would you wouldn't say no, would
You
you?
wouldn't say no, but just the it's just so funny. Isn't
So
it?
to
It's
start a jiu-jitsu league is let a drop in the ocean to that. You just go, we're going to pay all of you 100k every match. We're going to do a thing. You're going to fight every other month. Like there's going to be an event every month. You're going to fight in it every other month. We're going to have 16 of the best guys. Like for sure, the top 16 guys in your division are going to be in here, and we're going to pay you all 100k every time you fight. Like,
I mean,
which is nothing for them.
Absolutely.
But for a grappler, they're like, I'm not going to get a better option than that.
Yeah. I think for people like the Saudis, they've got so much money. I think what needs to make it attractive for them to do is to look at it and go, there's money in this. You know, there's interest. There's mainstream interest in it. So I just don't fully think we're there yet, but I think it's moving.
We're getting
towards
there though,
that.
because there is a they're doing a quintet in Saudi.
Yeah.
There's that quintet MENA, I think they're calling it.
I saw about this.
They haven't fully announced the teams yet and stuff, but they did like a picture of like the 10th Planet guys and the Bulls, the B team Bulls up there and stuff. So it looks like they'll have good teams, and I think that is being funded by Saudis.
So it could be a little bit of a
So I think
test.
that's like the sort of start of it,
Like an acid test of like, is this financially viable? Is this?
Yeah.
And a lot it'll come out in the wash with how much interest, views,
But like
streams,
the YouTube
whatever.
sort of streams and stuff is pretty encouraging, isn't it?
What, the streams of CJI?
Yeah.
Because it was funny because I said last time there was a lot of empty seats there, but there was huge, as you said, huge online interest, wasn't there?
Yeah, by the last day, like the fight, it was pretty packed.
Yeah.
But I just don't understand why it wasn't packed at the beginning, because it's like New Wave versus like Team America. It's like, well, this massive match. Like, what's going on? Come on.
Yeah. Funny. Because you think a lot of people will probably just get tickets for the whole thing.
Yeah.
Funny. Yeah. Well, we'll have to see.
We will
Who knows?
indeed.
Who knows whether? I mean, obviously, we hope, like most of us in this sport, that we get more and more mainstream, and it's more money gets poured into it, and we get better matches, and just more killers get created, and more kids get into it, and start early and become, the level of the sport in general just evolves exponentially. We all hope for that. It's nice to be at the grassroots of that, isn't it?
Definitely.
Some of the kids we've got you can just see so many potential in some of them. It's just, oh my god, if you just carried on, who knows? You might discover girls, you might discover, I don't know, football or whatever, and just go and do something else. But right now, if you carried on along this trajectory, you could be fucking amazing.
Exciting. Let's call it a day.
Let's do that.
Thanks to our sponsors, Rain, for making sustainable clothing that helped me to win the North American Grappling Association expert title.
Yeah, I think it was probably the fact that they made it of plastic bottles that helped you to just sort of clinch that victory.
100%.
Yeah.
And thanks to Grappler Soap for keeping me clean.
Yeah. Smelling good as you were squashing your opponents.
And not infecting them with skin-based illnesses.
Yeah, so that's a shit way to win, isn't it?
Oh, I think it's quite funny.
I mean, a win's a win, but doesn't look good for the gram, does it?
We will see you next time.
See you next time, guys.
All right, guys, let's bow there and then we'll call it a day.